Your worth is absolute. They try to push past your limits, but you are about to reclaim your focus and your worth. Your personal boundary is permanently set. The sacred boundary defines your true worth now. Hey there, I'm Katsumi, and this is a collective reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. The energy here is focused on realizing self-worth and enforcing personal power. And right now the word coming through is boundary. I'm also hearing that to know your worth is to wield a weapon they cannot counter. Now let's find out what other messages are coming through. So starting off, there seems to be like a major challenge to overcome. Something to do with, I heard this hurdle. It's like this uphill battle of some kind with the mountain energy popping up here. But like you're handling this very harmoniously with the Page of Pentacles because like you're very, I heard the word studious. You're very, like you see the potential of what this challenge could help you overcome. It's almost like, I almost feel like it's something that you've tried to avoid and almost like resolving, because it's like it would bring about some sort of like like you have to do this thing, but it's like you have to push past your limits to kind of like get the thing done is what I'm hearing. It's almost like with the word boundary, maybe someone crossed a boundary, but like you're very like you're very much about harmony and like just kind of like working with the energies that you're given, like that's coming at you. But it feels as though something happened where it's like it's unavoidable. Like this thing has to occur, is what I'm hearing with this Two of Swords energy. Something to do with like, it's because it's not avoidable, it's putting you in this stalemate where it's like it's a draw. And it's either like you have to either go back where you started or traverse forward. So it's kind of like creating some sort of indecision because it's like it's breaking apart some of your core infrastructure is what I'm hearing. It's almost like you don't want to step on people's toes, but you know what you have to do. It's almost like speaking up for yourself and like setting your boundaries and being really firm about it and what it is that you want. And because you're defining your boundaries, it's like you are defining your true worth at the same time. It takes a lot of like courage and like to push past that limited, like I heard limited beliefs, limits that were set. Something to do with that. Because there's something to do with your value and people not recognizing that, people not realizing that. And so you have to enforce your personal power, which was mentioned at the beginning of the reading. Something to do with like you are focusing your energy on that. And so that's why the word boundary seems to be of significance here. King of Wands. It's almost like you're full of integrity. You're a master of, almost like I got a master of your relationships. Like you have this warmth about you. You have this confidence. Okay, you're very passionate, you're very driven. And you kind of like see these problems. You see these major obstacles coming your way. But at the same time, your back is like turned to the Five of Cups. Like that there's going to be some regret setting those boundaries. There's going to be some sort of disappointment in how people behave, how people traverse these conversations with you as you set these boundaries. It's almost going to give you a bit of grief, but it's like temporary because you come into this victory. You go into this victory state of feeling like your endeavors were worth it. And that everything you did, even though it put you in a state of anxiety, for a brief moment of time, it felt like an irreversible end. But on the outside, over the hill, after you traverse the mountaintops and you get over that hill, get over that heap, you step into this like awakened energy of like self-value and like wholeness again, and feeling at peace again, and balance. Feeling fairness. So maybe fairness is something that you fear to talk about. Maybe it's like an authority figure, kind of like enforcing their powers on people, and you kind of like set your boundaries, maybe. Maybe this is someone who was breadcrumbing you, someone who was giving you minimal attention, like not really seeing your worth, is what I'm hearing as well. So you had to realize your wealth, interesting. Realize your self-worth and your value. Okay. Something to do with shattering their disrespect, because you are actually valuable, and without you, I'm hearing they are nothing. It's almost like they need you, almost. It's like some sort of collaboration, sort of like reciprocating, kind of like juggling and building together. But they're like breadcrumbing you, but you know that they need you. But it's like they won't admit that, but they breadcrumb you. And it's like, it's like they're not committing fully to you. And so you're kind of like getting your payback because of that. And because like you know your worth, it's like you're wielding this weapon. Okay? Because it's almost like I heard counterclaim as well. With the beginning of the energy, the reading is like sending this message of to know your worth is to wield a weapon they cannot counter. It's like you're giving this counter offer. Maybe some of you are asking for raises, maybe. You're setting your boundary of like, hey, I do XYZ amount of hours, or I'm doing this for you, and, you know, you're expecting XYZ in return. And they're kind of like getting consequences back because they're realizing maybe they shouldn't have breadcrumbed you for so long, or at all, you know? It's almost like dangling a carrot in front of you, like almost like saying you're going to get a promotion, but like you wait a year and a half, 2 years, and then like it's already past 3 years, you know? Like you've been patient, you're investing, okay? You're being very reflective on what you can do. You're results driven. But at the same time, it's like they're like overthinking your worth at the same time, you know? And the energy here is saying that what goes around comes around kind of thing. And it's time to settle the accounts, it's what's being said there. So now you're finally actually going to be receiving some receptive energy, reciprocity. It's going to be opening in new opportunities to you, okay? And you're going to be accepting this. But what's so crazy is that you've built this field of roses in front of you, and it took time. And when the rain pours, it's not pouring for the roses, it's finally pouring for you. Like you are a part of that garden, you know? It's almost like you've gone into some sort of drought for so long, and always getting like breadcrumbed by individuals around you, that finally, because you spoke up and you set your boundaries and you almost like defined your self-worth, it's almost significant or like solidifying to them like, hey, this person is of value. Because if they're actually complaining about something, well, it's not really complaining, it's kind of like, okay, maybe it is, like maybe it does feel like a complaint, you know, you gotta speak the truth, maybe, you know, in like the definition term of complaint, right? Maybe you're just speaking your truths. But nonetheless, it's like finally, like the words coming through as like stating your boundaries, okay? Something to do with something along the lines of like, if you allow someone to play in your face, then you are not valuing yourself. That might be important, that like message. So when you place a boundary and someone doesn't respect that, don't reciprocate love in return due to the respect you receive. Kind of, I'm getting the energy of walking away almost. Or I heard placing your stake in the matter, or like your stake in the ground. But yeah, there's just a lot of red flags I heard with this opportunity, with this environment, with this relationship. Something to do with like, you have a lot of hope, and at the moment, it felt like it was worth something. It was going towards something that felt like it was on the right path for you. And you just had to wait for divine timing. But it was all based off of false hope. And I think I'm getting the feeling like you felt that. You felt that energy. You knew that there was some sort of carrot being dangled in front of you. And this is kind of why you placed this boundary of just like, hey, recognize my worth kind of thing. And it kind of like gave them this like final shock that they deserved to finally see. It's like, your worth is now non-negotiable. They have to take accountability and settle the scores and clear the balance, okay, is what I'm hearing. Because there's like that karmic debt that's there. Like they finally have to respect your sacred space. They have to respect your limits and respect your boundaries, respect what it is that you want, and give you in return what is of value, of equal value to your worth, is what I'm hearing. I'm also hearing a little bit about something to do with their disrespect is being like shattered, okay? It's because now you're securing your time and energy and you're not giving back to them as much as you used to. I'm hearing that because of the, like you're very much like a giver is what I'm hearing. You give and you don't necessarily take, like you kind of just giving, but there's no reciprocity. People are not giving in return. And because of that, you've kind of like stripped away some of that energy and you returned it back to yourself, and now you're giving to yourself. You're securing your time, your energy, your peace, and those individuals who are popping up to almost take advantage of your kind-heartedness, they're not receiving as much as your time, and if anything, they're giving you back the time you gave them because they need to value your worth, and so they're doing that unknowingly, giving you in return without you having to fully ask for that, all because you placed a boundary and you set in stone what you were unhappy with, is what I'm hearing. Yeah. Something to do with a lot of noise and panic, sensory bombardment, something to do with individuals who have almost like breadcrumb you, perhaps might have put you in this energy for a little bit where they're constantly giving you all this information and like all this noise, creating panic. But it seems like you're like in this like flow state, even though you have all of these things coming your way. But it's like they kind of wanted to create all this noise for you, but it's so interesting. It feels like it's not really affecting you all that much. It might be to some regard, but not as much to the scale that it's affecting them. It's almost like getting a whole bunch of things at work or something, and they try to put a lot on your plate, and you finish it with ease, and then you complain maybe that you are lacking XYZ thing. They complain or try to retaliate against you, and maybe it's like they try to like make you look like out to be the bad person or something like that. And in reality, days go by, you might even apologize for some of the upheavals that might have happened by stating your boundaries, but you keep moving on, and then all of a sudden they realize that you were right. And so they try to make it up to you and try to like, I don't know, something like understand your boundaries, understand what it is that you're asking for. It's such an odd energy to know that people will go a full 180 once they realize that when you set your boundary, it's like this person set themselves up to like be shocked by the very thing that you set a boundary towards. It's almost like maybe you don't like how someone speaks to you and you say, hey, could you not speak to me like this, or XYZ thing, or can I get visibility into this XYZ kind of thing? And so they're like, oh, you're just complaining, you know, your feelings don't matter kind of thing. And then they kind of makes you feel like you don't matter, but you know your own worth. And days go by and they realize that you were right, and now they lack visibility, they lack people treating them right, and they're like, wow, collective was right about setting that boundary. Like, they realize that they're the problem, but also the people around them are a problem too. It's almost like a cultural like thing happening, like in the workplace, maybe politics, maybe even, and people are kind of like waking up and trying to like reciprocate better towards you because of that, is what I'm hearing. But nonetheless, it definitely feels like because you stated that boundary, people have no choice but to like empower you with goodness, with better gestures, with I don't know, I'm also hearing that people are going to be like empowering you with more opportunities that elevate you to like prevent you from dealing with some of these situations. So that might be of significance as well. But you are like definitely counteracting a lot of these like almost like these weird nuances that might occur in your personal and professional life. And it's like you're just in like this very like flowed state, like very free flowing. And people around you are just getting what they dished back to you, or like getting back what they dished towards you. And so they're kind of in limbo while you're kind of reclaiming your focus through your boundaries. Yeah. So yeah, those are all the messages that I have for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If this reading resonated, consider showing your support by subscribing, liking the video, and leaving a comment down below. I truly appreciate it. And until next time, trust your path and let the universe work its magic.